Okay, so the very first question that's on your Google form is this one. We have a block of mass 2 kilograms is suspended from a rope as shown above, or I guess like to the right, whatever. If the tension in the rope is 10 newtons, the acceleration of the block is something. So this one's just kind of reintroducing us to Newton's second law, but pause this video here and then get an answer, and then I'll continue it after you finish pausing it. But yeah, so give it a go, see what you got, and then if you want to hear the answer, I gotcha. Okay, so here we are back looking at this question, and really what we're looking at here is this block that's got this rope. So what we can do is, just like we did before, we can circle our object. So I'm circling my object, and I'm thinking about what's contacting it. Really all that I have contacting it is this rope, so I can put a little X there and say, okay, if I'm going to identify my contact forces, then I have really just this upwards tension force. And then the only other force acting on it is the weight force. So we have this downwards force of gravity. Okay, cool. So now what I can do is write Newton's second law. I can say my net force equals mass times acceleration. What I'm going to do here, I'll kind of stick to this convention. I will list out my forces in the y direction. So in my y direction, I have a positive force of tension that's going upwards, and then a downwards force of gravity. And because I drew my force body diagram, listing out these forces became really easy. I see which direction they're pointing, and I see which forces I have acting on my object. So yeah, this is a nice way to do it, a nice way to use our force diagram. I see I have this positive force of tension and this negative gravitational force. So now what I can do is just kind of find those values. Also it's equal to mass times acceleration. So in this case, they tell us that the tension force is 10 newtons. And then my gravitational force, let's see, I have a 2 kilogram object. I just dropped the pen. A 2 kilogram object. My force of gravity, I know that it's just going to be m times g. So I know that this is equal to 2 times, I'm just going to call it 10. Yes, it's 9.8, but we'll just do 10 to make calculations a little bit simpler. All right, so I can say 10 minus 20 is equal to 2a. Negative 10 equals 2a. So a is equal to negative 5 meters per second squared. So we see that our object is accelerating in what we defined as the negative direction. It's accelerating downwards at a rate of 5 meters per second squared.